And hello, this is a Nosey Reduction, bringing good entertainment and pizzas, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a guide for Dead by Daylight. To start off, I got pretty lucky, spawned with a person, actually two, and usually, sometimes you spawn with people, sometimes you don't, but it is good to get a person right beside you because, you can get a generator, and I got really lucky too because there's a generator right there. Now I'm showing off actually my premonition perk, which basically allows me to hear the audio cue when they're outside the heartbeat range, which is extremely useful. A big rule about this game is caution is a lot better than actually doing stuff. If you even saw, I could barely see the killer, but I saw him, peek his head out to see about the generator, and I just literally moved immediately. But then he kind of comes in here and he kind of screws up. Now, the reason I'm making this guide as well is I saw a lot of things that my teammates did that they really screwed stuff up, and I was successful. And I can actually show you, based on what my teammates did, how to be successful. Also, hiding spots. Regardless of the killer, usually a little more obvious hiding spots are actually really effective because killers are not expecting them. And, some killers, they're just too hasty to check. And obviously you want your clothing as stealthy as possible. I picked the two best clothings for Jake, which is my main. But basically, yeah, you want to have the best that you possibly can. Now, you're going to see my teammate do something really stupid. What he does is he ran away from me. He probably didn't see me, but I was going to heal him. Then he did that. That is a big no-no. Never quick vault over something because it notifies the killer. And as you'll find out later, the killer had more blood tracking. He had 3 seconds extra blood tracking. And, well, we'll continue the video. Well, basically what you're going to see is this is probably what ended up leading to my friend's demise. So basically, after he did that, I just said, okay, I'm just going to start the generator. Then I was concerned. I saw the killer with premonition and, well, heard him. I always say C for some reason, but I heard him. And so then I was like, okay, I'll hide for a second. But then I was like, okay, they got the generator, so I'll hide until they go towards the generator. But then I remember the friend quick vaulted. And in a second, I'm going to look over, yep, and then there he is. He went in a locker. Also, because he was bleeding, he was making lots of sound, so basically he was kind of screwed no matter what. So I just said, okay, well, you know what, I'm just going to finish this generator. Now, a big rule is don't be a hero without an exit strategy. If you're wounded, absolutely don't go for someone, because you're just going to end up getting killed. But I wasn't wounded. I was going to say, hey, I'm going to go for them, but as you can see, my friend was doing the national signal of the killer's camping, and then I said friend. I actually didn't know the guy, but basically I said, okay, well, I'm just going to finish this generator, and we had good generator progress up until this point. He's probably dead, unfortunately. He sacrificed himself for the cause, but at least we can get the generators, and at least we can get out. That's what I thought it would be that easy, but yeah. Now, I'm going to talk about Auto Haven being a map that I don't really like particularly. It's because there's only obstacles in a few places. Also, as you can see, avoided the sex dungeon. I could have probably gone into the sex dungeon safely, but there's only one generator left, so I said, okay, I'm just going to find it, I'm going to do it, we're going to get out of here, see how much progress I can get before he dies. But then the killer actually left for a second, probably checking this generator, and premonition tells me, so basically I took it a little cautiously. But I said, okay, well, I want to see how much I can do this generator. And my friends, well, I say friends, my teammates, they actually got him out, which was good. Although, it was in vain because he's going to die in a second. But yeah. Also, another thing is the auto cues are a big thing, and yeah, basically what you want to do is you want to use them to your advantage. Now, my friends do, or my teammates, I keep saying friends, get it, but in the end of the day, it's, I'm going to still do the generator to see how much points I can get so I can rank up, which is a risky strategy, but at full health, it's okay to do that. I would say, as long as you just don't get blindsided by the killer, which I've been extremely cautious. I'm using premonition, I'm making sure I'm watching for the killer constantly, knowing exactly where he is, and then using that to actually finish the generator and take advantage of everything. But yeah, and the reason that I hate Auto Haven is because, again, there's like small places where there's lots of obstacles, and then there's like places where there's none at all. These buses are actually my favorite obstacle in the entire game. I still hate this map the most. It's because you can really easily juke the killer. I don't get to show this off, but then I see two teammates die, and I'm like, I'm going to go for the gate opposite to where the killer is, because it seems like a logical thing. And usually you want to do that, because if two teammates die near another gate, it's most likely they're going to, the killer's going to be there waiting for someone to save them, which is kind of what happened, actually, later in the game. But yes, if you're going to save your teammates, and no, I'm not a dick, I try to go for altruism, you want an escape plan. Opening a hatch opening an escape gate is extremely important. Now, unfortunately, the other teammate was a dick. They probably saw, oh, they opened the gate, they saw that the teammates were down, and they said, okay, screw it, I'm not going to risk it. So I'm going to go for my teammates. Now, this guy, I'm surprised he didn't see me, honestly, but at the same time, he probably wasn't paying attention, dropping him everything. But basically what I was trying to do is I was trying to sneak over, but then I saw what he was doing. Basically, he was trying to carry them like pebbles towards the hook so that he could keep track of them, which is a really smart strategy as a killer, actually. Now, unfortunately, what he didn't expect was, one, my teammate was ready, and two, that I was going to quickly do stuff. Now, I quickly did here, and this was extremely risky, but I was at full health, and worst case scenario, he's going to hit the other guy, or I'm going to get hit and I'm going to be able to escape, whereas the other guy, he's just going to go for the other guy, which he did. So, in the end of the day, it was okay for me. And I know that is really bad thinking, but at the same time, it's an objective thought of, you know what, do the least risk for me, but the most rewarding for both the team and me. And so, you can risk the altruism, but don't over-risk it. And that was a situation where I didn't have to risk it. But yeah, as you can see, he's carrying the other person, and I realized, okay, he's not going to camp him, so this is my chance to be altruistic once again. And since I'm at full health, there's not really any risk or anything, and he just got hooked, so I noticed that, so I'm just going to get out of here. Now what I try to do here is I try to trap the killer, and this is a really smart strategy if you can stun him, but he was smart. Now, I don't actually end up using the buses because he starts chasing the other person, but basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out of here because basically the other person got the other guy off the hook, and I just said, you know what, the best thing to do is just to leave and not worry about anything. Because, you know what, honestly, they're the best that they could be. One's healed, and he just got away. And I assume the other one escaped. I didn't end up spectating, but I'm pretty sure he escaped. So yeah, basically, the moral of the story is, whenever you're dealing with stuff, it's very simple. You just make sure that you always be safe, and always value yourself more than others, but don't be afraid as well to help them if you can do it safely. And really, regardless of how good the killer is, as long as you're cautious, you can usually trump a good killer with caution. Now, as you'll see, his perks were absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure he was probably hacking, but you know what? Even if he was or if he wasn't, whatever the case be, the point is that I did succeed. I got the rank up, and that's just how you do it. You just got to be safe and do as much as you can. As I'll also add, just as a little thing, usually what I aim for is 2 generators and opening a gate, and that will usually, if you escape after that, of course, if you don't escape, that's bad, but if you escape after that, that usually ensures you a level, especially if you get great on all your generators. Usually I'm about, I would say 75% of the time I get great skill checks, so that is a big important factor. And but lastly, yeah, just make sure you're safe, and make sure, whatever perks you have, you might not have my perks, but you still can be cautious about everything and actually just do everything successfully just by exercising extreme caution and everything like that. Anyway, this has been a Nosey production, bringing entertainment and pizzas. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe I'll make more of these, maybe I'll not. But that's, as you can see, it's not too hard to actually both rank up and get a decent amount of XP in a game, as long as you're safe and you don't do stupid stuff. Anyway, we'll see you guys later.